Hello, my name is Eric and I'm doing another one of my photography vlogs called One Body, One Lens, One Roll, One Day. I am here at Birchard Park in the heart of Fremont, Ohio, Northwest Ohio. It is a very overcast Friday morning, so nice even lighting. And today I am using my Pentax LX camera. You've seen this guy a couple times before, along with the standard 50mm 1.4 SMCM. Eventually I'll wind up with an SMCA or something else, but this guy does me pretty good. Today's, oh, and I do have my winder on it. Today's film, some 1995 expired Agfa Portrait 160. Boy, did I love the Agfa film when it was out, and I was first started in the photo industry. The Optima stuff, and I've shot a couple rolls of Optima before. The Vista, the HDC, the Ultra. This is another one of their professional films called the Portrait film. Supposedly a little softer in the tones, better for skin tones and stuff like that. This is a roll of 24 exposure, and it is, like I said, it is 30 years expired, so I am going to make some ISO adjustments. Now I got this from a batch on eBay. And I shot a previous roll of film of medium format stuff, and it actually came out pretty decent. Oops, let's do this. Shooting one stop variation. Well, I'm going to do a two-stop variation. So this is 160. I'm going to shoot it at ISO 50. Okay, so maybe stop in 2/3. Because the previous one, and not the previous portrait, but I did shoot some of the Agfa and some gold that I pulled back 1 stop and 1.5 stops, and those turned out very nice. So I'm going to treat this the same. All right, I've got paths, I've got a tennis court, I've got basketball courts, I got jungle gyms, there's a dog walk area, there's squirrels all over the place. None of them come near me, and even then I don't have a long enough lens to try to get them from a distance. Maybe that'll be a future episode. Get a long lens and try to get some little wildlife and stuff like that. All right, I'm all loaded up. Let me go see what I can get. So earlier this week, Ohio had some major, very strong winds going through, just going through 40, 50, 60 mile per hour gusts and stuff like that. As you can see, I got some debris from some trees nearby because of that. I was lucky, nothing around our house or anything like that, back towards Medina. But yeah, the wind was really whipping around. So I'm gonna get some shots. So Agfa film back in the day was a very hot tone film. The reds, the oranges had a little extra kick to them. Fuji's always loved green. Konica loved the blue. Kodak loved the warm tones. However, this is portrait. This is Agfa's 160 portrait film. So it's a little softer in tone. Maybe not razor sharp or very sharp like some of the other films. Very kind of nice, pleasing in the grain. Yeah, again, more of a softer tone, designed more for portraiture. That's always called portrait. So very similar to the Konica 160 portrait or the Kodak Portrait 160. Excellent portrait, studio films. The Kodak stuff of the day, the VPS and VPN, didn't necessarily like being pushed or pulled that much because it would mess with that tonality. Same thing with Konica. Agfa, I don't remember if it liked being pushed or pulled, but guess what? I've got to overexpose it anyway because of expired. So I'm not expecting razor sharp photos. I'm expecting maybe some creamy photos, which would be awesome. I do like that type of a look to it. Let me go that way. Be right back. Now the jungle gym behind me has got lots of nice colors. It's got some nice browns, some nice bluish greens, some darker grays. We've got the yellowish of the building behind me, so I've got all sorts of different colors. This is a good test to see how this film is going to come out, because I got a couple more rolls of this stuff. I'm hoping it comes out really nice, because I'm trying to find, get a couple people, maybe go on photo walks with them. So I'd want to be able to have some nice film to go on photo walks and maybe shoot some people with it. Okay, let me see what else I can get. So this is the stage where the Birchard players tend to do their Shakespeare in the Park. I'm sure they do other events here, but that's the one that I've been to a couple times. They did, I forget what Shakespeare play they did a couple years ago, but I did some shots for that one, and it was kind of cool. Last year they did they did it kind of at another stage closer to downtown. I did my live theater episode there. I was shooting some expired Konica film, and Konica film does not necessarily like getting old, so I did have some discoloration and stuff like that. Hopefully I don't have as much of this because of expired. Hopefully not, not so much on the discolored side, but the overexposure should help me out. Okay, I am on shot 23 of 24. I'm going to assume I'm going to get 24, maybe a bonus 1 or 2. Depends upon how I loaded it. All right, let me see what I can get. All right, so I had my 24th shot. My motor drive's not going to let me advance it any further. I think I got to 23, so I don't think I actually got that 24th shot out. All right, so again, with these old manual cameras, there's a release button on the bottom of the camera in most cases. There's a little few of the Olympuses will have it here. There's maybe 1 or 2 that'll have it up on the top, but in most cases, it's on the bottom of the camera. And your rewind will be about as many shots as you took, is about as many rewinds as it is. So this was a roll of 24, so this will probably be right about now. Okay. I always go a couple extra so it goes inside the canister. Today's film was some Agfa Portrait 160, expired in 1995, so about 30 years out of date. I shot 1 or 2 other rolls from this batch, some medium format stuff that I'd gotten from a guy off of eBay. I shot that stuff with a 1.5 exposure but 1.5 exposure overexposure because of age, that turned out very nice. So I did the same thing with this one. Even though this is 30 years out of date, I did about a stop in 2/3. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully nothing like heat damage or anything like that's going on. But you never know. I did get some Konica film that was heat damaged. When you buy bulk off of eBay, and it was like 10 rolls of Konica, it's like 50 bucks. I did my test shot at it had a green base, heat damaged. So that's one way you can tell it was heat damaged. What color is your base? It was very green. So what I'm going to do is, I know a couple of teachers, and I occasionally give them some of the equipment that I use for this vlog, that after I shoot it, really no major value to it, so I can't resell it, but I will give it to students and let them play. So what I'm going to do with that Konica film is give it to the students, not so they can shoot it, but so that they can learn how to load their cameras with bad film. That way when they go to load the camera with good film, they already know how to do it, and they're not wasting their film trying to get it to load correctly. I'll just use these as their test rolls. All right, hopefully I get some shots. I do like this film. Give them a thumbs up if I get some cool shots. Feel free to comment on your experience within the Agfa professional films, such as the Optima, such as the Portrait, which is what I shot, the Ultra. I know there's a couple different Optimas, a 125, a 200, and a 400. Feel free to comment on your experience with expired Agfa film, or even the more current black and white Agfa film. Feel free to subscribe. New episodes try to come out about every Friday and every Saturday, with bonus episodes happening every now and then. I did one on Mansfield Reformatory way back. I did one the live theater I already mentioned. I did one on photojournalism. So I was actually, what was I walking? There was an accident right outside of work. I grabbed a roll of film. I thought it was some expired Agfa Vista. It wasn't. It was some 1973 DNS film. I did get it developed, kind of tricky to do so. The lab I took it to said, hey, great experiment, let's not do that again. So I'm not going to shoot any more of that DNS film. But there was some cool accident. I did some on street photography, walked around Where do I walk around? Oh, West Side Market in downtown Cleveland. Hopefully that episode's posted. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next episode.